From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome back into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o, man, it's just I forgot what I'm even supposed to do these days, dude. It's only been 2 weeks for them, but for us, it's been like 4 weeks, bro. It feels like, man.
You can find us on the 3 majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer Pucks Out podcast. Catch them Tuesdays for Singo and Thursday for Trivia Night. Go check them out on social media to find out. I'm sorry, Bingo. What did I say?
You said Singo, which sounds pretty dope, to be honest.
Well, Singo is Tuesday nights and Bingo's Thursday night.
Okay, maybe I misheard you on one of them. I thought you said Singo was on. Hey, sounds pretty dope though. We've never done Singo, so I'm out on that. I don't want to. What do you have? Do you have to actually sing things? Because I'm out.
No, so they play a song, and you have to have the name. You have to have the song on your card.
Oh, okay. So that's not at all what I was envisioning. I was envisioning that some skill.
I think you were thinking of karaoke.
Right. I was just thinking of singing. I was just like, man, singing sounds like a horrible event to go and just do.
Today we are covering a bunch of news from when we were gone. We're talking college football playoffs, we're talking the World Cup, and much more. Check us out on Patreon to get all the spicy bits a bit earlier. Check us out on Twitch, where right now we are doing a community event where we will be doing Brandon and I will be doing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing. And we're getting really close to doing our Seattle thing. I know we've been teasing that for 2 years now, maybe, but it's actually getting close. We got the equipment.
People getting there. Getting them hype, dude. Getting them hype on it. You know what I'm saying? This is ultimately building the event. Okay, you don't just go into it cold turkey. You hype it up for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah. How are you this week, bud?
Doing pretty good. I'm a little stuck here with my my headphones here, so trying to work on that. But pretty good, man. Nice little Thanksgiving break. Weather's been kind of just been watching World Cup and football and hockey and fantasy, hockey and football and all that, all that time of year where it's just feels like so much is going on. I need, football's, playoffs are almost here. We can kind of phase that fantasy, side of things out that, saves you a lot of time throughout the week. But how about you, man? How was your trip, brother?
Trip was awesome. Got a little sun, got a little time off. Happy to be back. I was exhausted for the last 2 days, especially that last couple of days of the when you're traveling for almost like what feels like a week and a half. The last couple of days start to just feel like a lot, especially when you're drinking a lot, you're going hard, you're not getting much sleep. But yeah, I was happy to be back in my own bed. Have the dogs. Happy to be back recording, talking sports. But overall, good trip. Quick fit check. My wife got me some new Hawaiians while we were in Mexico, and I got this dope ass Abita hat from New Orleans. Nice. So, just rocking all the new stuff.
Just a regular shirt here. I got the front button down. I always like to call these my Dexter shirts. I feel like I'm gonna put some gloves on and go on a quick murder run. But then college football playoff. We're talking it today. We're talking a little college football. I went with my Penn State football hat. I normally wouldn't wear this in football season, but as we'll talk about Auburn's recent decisions, maybe I'm on the lookout for a new team, and maybe Penn State is it. So,
so let's move straight into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
Oof, I saw this right before I was leaving. Chris Letang suffers a stroke out indefinitely. He has been skating So it's always good. But yeah, that's a scary thing to see is on the news. I'm sure it was just as scary for scary for him and his family.
Thing that I didn't even type in there. This is another stroke. This is like the
Oh,
second
I didn't
stroke
know
he's
that.
had. I believe he had one. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I want to say it was like 2014. I
Oh
don't know
wow.
why I said, "Oh, I don't want to speak out of turn," as if I don't always just speak out of turn anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's a scary thing. I mean, no long-term injuries. They got to him pretty quick, but me and a coworker were talking about it. Just it's weird, man. Like hang it up, right? I mean, you've won 3 cups, brother.
Yeah.
What more can you want to do? I just don't really
Do we know the
understand.
circumstances? Was he skating when he had a stroke?
I think so. Let me see if I can. I didn't really. I'm like you. I just saw the story and read a little bit about his previous issues and that he was doing good. Uh, Monday. See if I can get a little bit more info.
But while you search that up, Jason Robertson, 52 goals during the calendar year, passed Austin Matthews on December 2nd. Absolutely wild. The kid that is such a feat to pass the Rocket Richard. Yeah, so I'm expecting big things. From how old is Jason Robertson? How long has he been in the league?
2 questions. I could not find anything on Letang and when it happened, but I can get you some Jason Robertson info. He is 20. He's 23.
Okay.
So it looks
Still
like
very young.
he's been. I think this is his 3rd season. I want to say.
Okay. And you got here per
I mean,
NHL stats. There has never been a game where 2 players riding point streaks of 18 plus have faced off. Marner and Robertson. I'm assuming that is you put that in
is
because it's
happening
going to
tonight.
change.
Well,
That's
that's
happening
happening tonight. Yeah. It is a go, a full go. That Robertson thing, as you can see, was 12-2. So we weren't in when it actually happened. But he got a hat trick, which I think brought him to the leader in goals. And so that point was from 365 days from there. He is currently leading in goals scored in a calendar year for the NHL.
Yeah.
So he on that 12-2 date, he passed Austin Matthews. And I would imagine that he continues to be up there, though I did see McDavid and Draisaitl have a little leapfrog in points, so that I don't know how close, if that's still accurate. So
yeah,
because McDavid is sitting at he's sitting at 22 goals and Robertson is at 23, so he has scored another. But yeah, man, a pretty heavyweight battle here. 2-18. Marner has a 19 game streak and Robertson has an 18 game streak. So,
nice.
Per NHL stats saying that's never happened before. I guess that's not wild that it's never happened before. Those are
it's kind of hard to get to.
Those are 2 pretty long streaks. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I can't believe this is never. No, I can believe that. You don't
now
really
question
get many...
when you say faced off. Are they being specific about 2 centers have never faced off? How specific are they getting here?
Players, no, these players haven't played each other.
Okay, because at first I read this, I was like, that's a very specific thing to have a stat about.
Well, and Robertson is a wing, and so is Marner.
Yeah,
so they probably.
Well, I wasn't sure.
If that was the case, we may not even get it. But to your point, though, Bobby. If they've never played a game against each other, it's 100% never a face-off one, never a face.
Yeah.
Now, what we can do next time is if there's 2 18-game point streak winners, then we can say, well, this has happened before, but they've never faced off. They've never had a face-off, and so.
But it's not uncommon that players get kicked out of the circle, so they could face off.
So one of two things have to happen. Either we got to go back and we got to watch the whole game tape to make sure that it never happens, or we can just lie and hope that
Yeah.
other people also
Nobody
haven't
would
watched
nobody
it.
would fact check us.
Nobody. No. The kind
Nobody
of people that we
cares.
bring in, the kind of people that we bring into our world aren't willing to go and fact check us. They're already willing to listen to what we have to say, Bobby. Okay. So they're already throwing fact checks out the door as soon as they walk in.
Nathan McKinnon left the game on last night's game with an upper body injury. I don't think we have any update on that as of yet. That's a huge blow to that team and to fantasy teams.
Yeah, the other day, Sassa sent me a trade the day after Letang had his stroke, and it included Letang, and I guess he just hadn't seen. And so he was trying to get McKinnon, and it wasn't just Letang for McKinnon, but they were two pretty much big linchpins in the trade. I was like, did you just try to trade me a guy that's out indefinitely with a stroke? And it looks like he's going to be back up and skating pretty soon, and who knows what's going on with McKinnon. So maybe it would have been the better idea to just be General Hospital over here on my team. And so we'll see. My luck, it's been too good in fantasy. So my guess would be he's done for good, and Letang is on his way to win the Hart Trophy. So maybe snag him where you can get him.
Yeah. Vegas Golden Knights, the best record for an NHL team after 400 games, 235 wins. I mean, I think we all saw that coming after their first two seasons. I mean, I'm surprised it's only 235 out of 400. I mean, I thought it would have been closer to like 280, almost 300 out of 400.
Well, they had a bad season last year.
Yeah.
I mean, not a bad one, but not a great one.
Relatively bad.
Relatively to them, I guess. But I mean, that's a 58.7 win percentage. And I'm not sure if it's counting overtime wins. I didn't really get any type of stats. Just this record came up. But man, you know what's super surprising to me? I know we don't have it on the list, but I just wanted to mention it. Bo Horvat having 20 goals for Vancouver right now.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice. He's third in the league in goals right now. So,
oh yeah. All right, let's move into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
The World Cup group stage and round of 16, and I believe that just before recording, the round of 16 is wrapped up with Spain getting knocked out by Morocco.
That link I provided will give you the updated bracket if you'd like it, sir.
I do want to touch on one thing that when our last episode, I was called a madman for saying that Japan was going to be a sleeper in the group stage, and not only did they beat Germany, they also beat Spain, and they won the group. So I'm a goddamn genius with soccer. What can I say?
Yeah. Couldn't take out the Croatians though. The Croatians have that hottie Miss Universe that keeps showing up to the games, and I just assume if she keeps showing up, I'm gonna go put some futures on Croatia, because I mean they took down the beast that is Bobby's prediction in Japan. I don't think I really ever landed super hard on anything, but I did think I mentioned Germany as a good potential option. That was not. I hope you didn't go putting money on Germany, unless it was for them to not go out of the group stage. I bet you that was going to pay some good money. But yeah, man, the U.S. What a great story for them to get out. I know that it always sucks as an American to see that, hey, we're the little brothers when it comes to soccer. But this is a really young team. I think we're going to be super ready and a decent team to look out for come when it comes to 2030 when we're a host nation. I watched that game. The Netherlands were just better, but I subscribed to Michael Caine's theory on this. There's only two type of people in the world that I hate, Bobby. One is people who are intolerant of other people's cultures. And two, it's the Dutch. Obviously, this guy, he's got a prominent American city as his name, and he's going to score a goal on us. Come on, Memphis. Yeah. All right, what are you doing here, brother? Now, we can continue to talk about the rest of the World Cup, but I want to throw a theory out to you, man. 10 to 15 years, we just in the United States, no more sports besides soccer. Everybody's funneled into soccer, dude. You know what I'm saying? Until we get a good pipeline, we get some champions that are playing soccer now. And then people, kids will want to go play soccer, and we can let them back out into the other sports. The NFL, the NBA will be fine for a few years without a new crop of battle tested, free, teams that they're able to pick from college. What do you think, man? I mean, we could just become a dominant soccer nation.
So
if just
what you're
all our
saying is
athletes played soccer.
we're just going to allow those poutine loving maple syrup bitches to the north win Olympic hockey for the next 10 years.
Well, we're gonna gather up our forces for soccer, because you can be more done. More can be done in the world with soccer.
So you want it to be US and Canada.
No, I'm saying the US does it for soccer for a while, and then when we're done with that, we can do it for hockey too. You see what I'm saying? We can train up and become a greater nation in hockey. I just feel like it's a cheaper road for us to do it with soccer first. You don't need a lot of equipment with soccer, whereas in hockey, we're not going to be able to fund this. You know what I'm saying? So just think about it.
You know what? I think I thought about it. I think I'll allow it.
I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win championships, baby. That's what America is, right? So, but a really good matchup. We were already going to have a tough road if we could have beaten the Dutch anyway, having to play Argentina, who beat Australia. Brazil, moved on pretty well against Korea.
Yeah.
Portugal, dominated Switzerland, but a big surprise, Morocco wins in penalty kicks against Spain. And then we obviously have an old rivalry with France and England battling it out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. So,
yeah, man.
All right, so I'm thinking Brazil versus England for the finals. Classic matchup. Who you got?
Yeah, that's totally possible. Looking at it, I don't hate that. I think either England or France are decent teams that could move on. Portugal's looking really good right now. Do they have enough gas in the tank to keep it up? I don't know. You're going England and Brazil. I am going to go Argentina, and I'm going to go with England as well. I've really liked the way that they've been playing.
Okay.
They've been able to score when they need to and play against different opponents. So I like that. I like that choice. England from.
Do you think the cup's going home?
I'm sorry.
Do you think the cup's going home?
Going home. Does that mean like to Brazil
England.
or something? England. Oh, is that where it was created?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a major saying in the World Cup. They say it's coming home. It's coming home.
Oh, well, haven't they not had it for a while? I think that
that's why they keep saying it.
after a certain amount of time, it's just no longer, the cup's home. Okay. You may maybe we'll bring the cup over for a visit, bring him home. Okay, so I wasn't. Apparently, you have been, and we'll talk about it in the questions from the internet. I don't know if you saw, but I included your questions, your international battle question. Apparently, you've been, talking with a lot of wankers from across the pond lately. So you just are wanting to, involve international affairs with our podcast, and that's just not us, Bob. I don't know. There's only one home. And it's America, okay? So maybe the cup should come home to us. Is all I'm saying.
I'm excited to keep watching this. I believe when does the next round start? When does the round of 8 start?
We have Friday games. We have Friday games and Saturday games. I will say, all jokes aside, Bobby, I can stand for all of the massive labor and human rights atrocities and how, Qatar tricked people into coming, over there and then pulling sponsorships and saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I can stand for all that. What I can't stand for is the annoying time frames of these games, buddy. I mean, it's 9 a.m. and then 1 p.m. That's it. That's the only times we got. So that's my complaint is let's get it into a real time zone. Okay. Forget everything else. But that's annoying. I would rather, watch it at like a normal time, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
So the Saturday game though, we'll be able to watch that in the all-inclusive zone when we're at the game.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
The 10 a.m. game. Maybe we'll link up sometime a little bit before, try to catch a little bit of that too.
Well, we'll be getting there at 10:30, so we'll be.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So perfect. We'll probably meet up, watch Morocco, Portugal. And then the England game's on right after it too. So shoot, we may not even watch any hockey. Sorry, Preds. I mean, you guys play hockey every year, okay? The World Cup happens once every 4 years, buddy. So
all right, let's the college football playoff has expanded to 12 teams for the 24-25 season. I'm excited for that. A lot of people are hating on it. I mean, as you knew they would, but hey, more football was more fun. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hating on this, then you don't watch college football, and I don't care about you. To be perfectly candid with you, Bob, is 12 teams. This is right. This is the right level. My favorite part is that it's 24-25 season. That is the first season that USC and UCLA will no longer be in the Pac-12, which will have an automatic bid to go to the play. So that's super awesome to me. I really enjoyed that part of it. But I mean, everybody gets to go, all the big conference champions, and then you don't leave anybody out. Look, Cincinnati, if you're the best team that supposed to win, you're going to go through and you're going to win. Look here, Boise State. Here's your shot. Are you the best college football team? I really like it. We can, as it gets closer, we can kind of talk more about the specifics of it. So,
yeah. I mean, my thought, I still think you should do March Madness pretty much and just do round of 64 and just let them all in.
96 teams, baby. Yeah, man. Just imagine you play a 13-game season and then they're like, all right, brother, you want the natty? Go win 7 more. But just in this band, just the same time frame as March Madness, though. I hope you're saying that. Like, I hope we have like a football game at like 6 a.m. in the morning, like on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
And like you got a game at noon on Wednesday, brother. Let's go.
Yeah. Frankly, I think they should be. I think honestly, as much as I don't really like college basketball, scheduling is great. I wish that on the first day of college football, there were some games at midnight. Just 30 games everywhere. Just you're off to the races.
They're lowering Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban into an arena. I'm in for it. We could probably do something on like stream something like that, like an actual like March Madness football. Let's do it.
New Auburn hire Hugh Freeze, more damn Eagle.
I think he meant Whore damn Eagle.
Horde. Didn't read it. I was on autopilot.
You need to read that more specifically. Hate the hire. All the scandals he went through and paying for.
I do not know this. I need to look it up.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here.
Was this the same Mr. Freeze that got in a fight with Batman?
Okay. No, that was I think that was Mr. Freeze. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not a Batman guy. No, this was when he was at Ole Miss and he was basically paying, prostitutes for recruiting and all sorts of stuff. I mean, he's been coaching football at Liberty.
Yeah, he coached at Lambeth.
Yeah, I'm not a super big fan. Like, I personally, I love Cadillac Williams. I thought he did a great job in the interim spot there. This is a big job. He's never had head football coaching experience. I'm okay with not giving him that job. But to give it to Hugh Freeze is ridiculous to me, man. It is so Ugh, that's what I'm saying. I'm certain maybe Penn State. I'm taking offers. I'm an unrestricted
Yeah,
free agent right now, Bobby.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm
I
not
was
going
I
to
was ex- I
re-sign.
was excited when the news dropped that they were going to hire Lane Kiffin at first because like, all right, you know what, this will be fun to talk about.
You
This will
want
be
to
a
know what I
fun
was
couple
too?
weeks.
You know my thoughts on Lane Kiffin. I think he's terrible. But one thing
Yeah,
he'll do great for us is recruit. And we've had 2 really bad recruiting seasons that we got to
yeah.
turn around, or we're in for a world of hurt. I didn't hate that hire. He has
I mean, it wasn't
personal
real.
issues, right? He isn't. He has personal issues and things that I don't like that he does, but that's just him doing things himself. I mean, this is a much bigger scandal to get involved with in my
Yeah.
mind. I mean,
So, and what I'm reading here is not only was there a lot of corruption with his players, he wasn't even good at it. Rather than just paying
no,
his players, he took out loans in his players' names for them. So they still get stuck with predatory car loans and payday loan scams. So what do you like? He's actually putting more
no.
like he's actually hurting them a
Yeah,
lot.
no. Well, he didn't care about that. Let's not pretend that Hugh Freeze even cared about anybody but Hugh Freeze. I'm
Yeah,
just, I'm never been that guy that's like, oh, I'm out on my team and stuff. But I just really, it's just a lack of understanding, your fan base in football.
yeah.
I mean, I think they
Well,
would have been
yeah,
a lot better off just hiring Cadillac, at that point. Give him a shot
yeah.
if you're just going to
Uh,
throw it up.
I think I found the sentence though that caused Auburn to hire him though. Freeze is only the third SEC head coach, along with Les Miles and Steve Spurrier, to ever defeat Nick Saban coach team in back-to-back years. So they just
Oh,
saw that
okay.
one sentence. They were like, "There it is, right
That
there. We got our
we're
man."
in. We're in. Maybe that's it. Hey, you things do get forgiven if you beat Nick Saban back to back years. The unfortunate part for him is Nick Saban will be playing against him in the Iron Bowl in the very last game of the season each year. So that's a little different than playing a mid October game against against Ole Miss
Ole
when you're
Miss.
looking ahead. So. Um, yeah, man, I just dislike the hire. Me being an Auburn guy, and we definitely needed to talk about it, and I needed to let everybody know I'm also not on board with
Yeah.
Poor Damn Eagle.
Main topic of the day, talking a little bit more college football playoffs. It is officially set. We've got number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State, number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU. We all know what every bar in the Midwest and most of America want to see. They all want to see Ohio State versus Michigan. Frankly, I kind of want to see it too. I want to see. I think I want to see Ohio State versus TCU. To be honest, though, I think that would be a more interesting matchup.
Well,
But
my general level of hatred for all teams that are not my team. For the most part, it is more of not who I want to see win, but who I want to see lose in these 2 options. Like I don't want to see Ohio State win, but I definitely want to see Georgia lose. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
So Ohio State, TCU would be my choice because, again, honestly, given the options, Michigan TCU national championship would be my ultimate preference, with TCU winning it and going away. I think that it's pretty clear set. We're going to get to see a rematch, right? I believe they played each other last year in the college football playoff, if I'm remembering correctly. Georgia, Michigan.
Ohio State, Michigan. Oh, Georgia,
No,
Michigan.
I'm thinking we're getting a
so.
rematch. I think they played first round.
Yeah.
I'm not, no worries either way.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ohio State's a team that could make this happen. Like, we've seen crazier things. I think Georgia they have it there. I mean, their work is cut out for them. I think Georgia is above and beyond, just better than the field by far. Just athletics, talent, just size. I think they have it. Ohio State needs a lot to work out for them to get this to go their way. And then not just that, then they have to go play another team after being all beat up, even if they can get past Georgia. So,
well, what do you think about the
the
path in for everybody? You think they made the 4 right choices?
Yeah, I think that TCU's loss in the championship game complicated things, but when you look at what else was there, there was no easy answer. There was no easy, if TCU loses, then this person is immediately in.
Yeah,
I know Alabama fans want to say that they should have gotten in. I don't think so.
No.
Tennessee fans, get the fuck out of here. After that, I get
Tennessee
it. You're
fans had a
homers,
better-
but after that,
Tennessee
after
fans
that,
had a better
after that South
argument to
Carolina
me.
loss, you can't get in.
Yeah, but when your starting quarterback gets hurt and goes out in the game, they did this a few years ago.
But he's not back yet. He wouldn't be playing.
Well, it doesn't
so he'd
matter.
still be out.
But no, they've already set the precedent with Ohio State and Cardell Jones when he went in. You know, I'm not saying I agree with you. I believe that the four that should be picked are picked. You know, a team like TCU takes a loss in a conference championship game against another top 10 team in overtime by 3 points. I don't think that's necessarily something to toss them out on. And as much as I hate to say this, a 1-loss Ohio State is a better option than a 2-loss Tennessee or Alabama. I mean, it just is. They lost by, you can say, well, they lost by 20-something points. Yeah, but if you watch that game, it was really late before Michigan took off with that game. And if we're sitting here saying that they're the second best team in the nation, well, I mean, you got to allow some leeway, right? They got beat, but as much as I dislike Ohio State, I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm an SEC guy through and through. These four were the right choices. The SEC didn't show up.
And let's also remember that the selection committee knows this is also a business. And you know what speaks money for them? When they see Michigan in there, they're looking their chops if they can put Ohio State in there. Because here's the thing, you're going to get SEC fans. SEC fans are going to watch this no matter what. You put Ohio State, Michigan in this, you expand this viewership a lot by putting Ohio State in there over a Tennessee team or something like that. Like,
I don't know,
so
man.
I think that now I'm not saying that that's how it should be. I don't think that business. I don't say that. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I think that that's it helps. It helps them make that choice a little bit.
Well, they're like as independent as you can be. I'm sure they have rooting interest, money interest in there. But I mean, they're not CBS. It's not CBS or ABC or whoever's that's doing the dealing with that end of the contract. So, but I mean, obviously that's a darling. If you can get USC in, that's a darling team that you want to get in there. But yeah, man, I'm really pleased with the four. I think we're gonna have a good college football playoff. But I think we can both agree, Bob, that the best part about this year's playoff is the first year since the college football playoff inception that we will not have to watch a Bama game or a Clemson game.
Yeah.
So that's solid. We can all appreciate that. Somebody new.
Yep.
Hopefully,
because
Georgia
I think win. And we don't get used to it because once there's 12 teams, Bama and Clemson, you're not going to have a year without one of those two teams in a 12-team playoff. Well, it's happening every year.
I'm sure we could probably go out there and look this up of who would be there, but I mean, you would have to imagine that you have Bama and Tennessee and Clemson as additional to these three.
Yeah.
Kansas State probably.
I think Tulane would be the number 12 seed.
Tulane would probably get an at-large bid for winning their conference and being high enough. Yeah, man. I mean, I think this is, and it's funny because I think this year there would be a lot of parity throughout the college football landscape, excluding Georgia and Michigan. Really, I mean, those are two teams that have really stood out above the rest. But other than that, I mean, TCU was a team that has had some good seasons, but I don't know that have ever been in this this driver's seat of their national title hopes. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
But yeah, I'm super excited. All right, let's move into games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
Okay, it is time to get back to games of the week after our break. The current record, I am leading with 17-13 with Bond at 15-15. It is a tight one this year.
That's what she said.
So let's jump straight into it. I'm starting off. I'm jumping straight into it on Thursday at 6:30 with Detroit at Florida. I am taking Detroit with the puck line.
You have.
I'm sorry, I'm taking Florida with the puck line.
I was like, okay, so you're trying to trick me here because what you're going to do later is you're going to highlight Florida. And then if Detroit actually puck lines it, you're going to be like, you heard me say it. But if they don't, you'd be like, no, that's what I highlighted. I see your game, brother. I see your game.
No, it is Florida with the puck line.
Okay, so I'm with you. We're sitting here. We're $30 in. I guess after this week, we'll be $35 in. I'm sitting here at $22.99. Let's start losing some money, right? Let's either start winning some money or start losing some money. I'm going Leafs puck line. I got Kings playing the Leafs 6 p.m. on the 8th Thursday. So I'm going to go puck line with the Leafs.
Nice. And you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and put this out there. I'm going all games puck line. Let's fucking go. I'm going big this week. We're back. We're back from vacation. I'm feeling loose. I'm rocking the Hawaiian. Let's go. I'm going puck line all times.
All right, baby, let's do it. I'll match you because F the money, dude. F the money, dude. It's all about the story, right? Stephanie, I've lost it all, but it was fun. It was fun, baby. All right, so you got Seattle, Washington puck line. You did say that game, right? You already mentioned.
Yep, I got. Well, no, but I got Seattle at Washington. I'm taking Seattle.
Okay. Seattle at Washington puck line. I don't hate that, man. I almost picked that game, and I was looking, and Washington may meet my prediction from earlier. I think that I said earlier this year, Washington may miss, and they're not looking.
Yeah, Seattle's looking pretty good this year.
Seattle is looking really good. I think they're number 2 in the division right now. So, love the pick, brother. All right, so I didn't know that we were gonna go. I didn't know we were going straight up puck line city, baby. So I've got the Isles playing the Devils here, and so I guess I've just got to hope that my team wins and hits the puck line. I guess it's one of those situations where I'm gonna go with the Isles puck line, baby. Because I'm more hoping that I'm more hoping that the Isles have been playing well as well. The Devils have been playing really well. I'm kind of honestly a little scared of that. I'm probably going to get +1.5 though, so maybe they will only lose by a goal, and at least I'll win a little bettage. So,
yeah. Saturday, the game that we'll be there for, I've got Ottawa at Nashville. Historically, Nashville on Saturday, they don't really show out that well, but we're going to be there. We're going to be watching some soccer. I think Nashville takes this one with the puck line. I'm assuming they're going to be favored. I don't know. I'm hoping they are, because I'm assuming that Nashville wins this one like 5-2.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, it was my secondary. I looked through games earlier, and usually I'll try to pick out 2 games for whatever one you pick. Had that as my secondary. I was like, one of us needs to have the game we're at so we can hype it up. So, love it. All right, we got the Flames and the Leafs. I guess normally I try not to get to Leafs or to the same team. I'm going to go with the Flames on this one, and I guess I'm going puck line because, straight puck line, baby. Let's go. And it's almost Christmas, so
coming in, I got
those funds with Christmas money,
Yeah. I've got Philadelphia heading into the desert at Arizona. They're heading to the college campus. I think Philly takes this one. I got Philly puck line, baby.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, and again,
I'm going to win this. I'm going to win that bet against Davey.
I guess, again, my picks are very showing out of why I did not plan on going straight puck line. But I got Bruins playing Vegas at 7 p.m. on the 11th. Woo! Sunday game. Bruins have been playing, pretty good hockey. Vegas has been playing pretty good hockey. Honestly, I think I'm going to go I think I'm gonna go Bruins puck line here. Weirdly enough, I've gone 3 away
Okay.
teams. So Bruins puck line. Again, maybe I'll get lucky and get +1.5 on it, or maybe a -1.5, and they'll dominate them. So going Bruins there.
All right. And the final game for me this week on Monday evening, I've got the Devils going in to New York to face the Rangers. I'm happy you took the Isles because I thought we were going to pick the Devils, and I was like, oh, shit. One of us is going to be wrong. But yeah, I've got the Devils puck line over the Rangers.
Honestly, if we both picked the Devils, we'd be closer to being right. I feel like you've got the advantage here. honestly, that game that you got on that Monday, that was my top game of the week. Really, looking down and writing all these games down, that is going to be a really good game. I like your pick. Rangers have not been the Rangers that we thought they were. Devils have not been the Devils that we thought they were. So nice little game across the river there. So we've been talking about this character, for in the news section. Stars playing the Pens. Letang probably not back by this time on the 12th at 6 p.m. I think Jason Robertson and the boys get it done. So going with the Stars here.
All right. Well, that wraps up our games of the week. We're going to move into our joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. See, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
All right. So I texted Brandon about this when it came across my timeline. It was some of the most insane things. Listen, everyone who listens to this probably knows how absolutely insane and just off his rocker Alex Jones is. People also probably know how insane off his rocker Kanye is. But somehow it takes a lot for someone to be sitting next to Alex Jones and make Alex Jones seem sane.
He's trying his best,
and that is exactly what Kanye did.
But you don't love Hitler though. But you don't love Hitler though. But it's like you like it because it's got really dope uniforms though. Maybe he's like, look, I've never heard Alex Jones plead to anybody. We have just watched a very public trial recently, of which he was very antagonistic, and he is the subject of harassing children's parents who have been shot. And again, he was like, he's like, come on.
You even saw him shaking his head like, oh, no. He's like, oh, you're crazy.
Not that I disagree. He's like, not that I disagree, but I would never say it like that on the radio.
Yeah.
I would always blame that opinion on like a frog being gay or something, dude. Like you gotta calm down.
What is crazy, and whether it's a coincidence or not, I don't know. But the very next day, Alex Jones officially filed bankruptcy the next day, and so I just thought that was an amazing circumstance to happen.
Maybe so. My favorite part, I guess, favorite is a really loose way. This is not what I mean. The funniest part about all of this is all the crazy stuff that Ye is going around and saying and just doing it. It's Nick Fuentes is always there. just laughing. I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah. People are like, who's that guy? Like, and some people don't know him and they're like, that guy just knows how crazy he is and stuff. It's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not the laughter of an uncomfortable man. That's the laughter and enjoyment of a person that probably gave him all these talking points, okay? He gave Mrs. Puff all the talking points when she went on to Alex Jones. Have you seen those comparisons? The Mrs. Puff and Kanye with his mask?
I haven't. But, how, like, there's that stereotype, but it's a joke from, like, the 90s, how, like, girls would girls would have like less attractive girls with them to make them seem prettier. That's what people do with Kanye now to make them seem a little less.
Are you talking about
crazy.
the Duff? Are you talking about the Duff? The designated ugly
maybe?
fat friend? Yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
designated
yeah,
ugly
yeah,
fat friend,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Duff.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the
Sorry, I
concept.
thought you were making I thought you were just going after
No.
Hillary Duff for some reason. I was like, I don't know what your hate on Hillary
She's
Duff is, but I
she
guess
was she was definitely not. No, Hillary Duff was not the Duff. She
Yeah.
had Duff. She had Duffs.
yeah,
with
100.
her.
Yeah,
I've done a little bit of Duff
Yeah.
work in my day. I've done a little bit of Duff work in my day, Bobby. You know, so and I mean as the Duff, not as the Duffer.
I think we've officially confused everybody. But yeah, so it is just. I mean, listen, I'm not going to repeat any of the stuff that Kanye said because I don't want those clips out there. But
You have
go
I think you've
YouTube it, and
stolen
oh
a
my
clip.
god, it is like. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll cut clips. I don't want clips of me cut. Yeah. Oh, it's just when I saw it, I was like, "There's no way that this is real." When I saw then I watched the actual video. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, man.
He said it, and you just see the scene where like Alex Jones just shaking his head, like, "Oh, how am I going to spin this?" It's wild. But yeah,
What a joke.
and something just as wild, but on the opposite side of the spectrum, which is amazing, and that's our pop culture segment of the day, is Cocaine Bear, without a doubt, the greatest movie that will ever be made.
Yeah.
Based here in Tennessee, off a true story. I don't know how based off a true story it is,
Yeah,
but
I don't
I'm
know
here
how deep
for it.
the true.
This
I'm very excited to every time there's like a movie based off the true story, I always go like look up the Hollywood, like, you know, what was right and what was wrong, you know, articles or whatever that they'll have. You ever done that? You know, to find out what was
Yeah.
really true and what wasn't?
Oh yeah.
I'm jazzed as hell to read that one. They're like, there was no lie at all. This was straight up
Yeah.
just the truth.
No notes. This is a documentary.
I'll tell you what I am excited for. I don't know if you ever saw those TikToks of the guy that worked at IKEA and is just like blasting customers
Yeah.
at IKEA. Yeah, where he's like, where they're like,
Yeah.
you know, like, well, can I use this coupon for last week? And he's like, no, lady, that'll be like,
No,
that would mean
I'm not
that
a
would
time
mean
traveler.
yeah, that would mean time stood still here at IKEA. Yeah, so that guy, I saw him in it, and so I was super jazzed about it. But there was like a really big like cast list, right? Like I was thinking it was going to be like a Sharknado
Yeah.
level like of underground, but like Margot Martindale's there.
Which I also want to say, Sharknado also had a solid cast.
Well, but didn't it have
Like,
like
if
what
we
would
go
have
look
been
at the
a solid
Sharknado cast-
in the, but wouldn't it have had what would have been a solid cast in the 90s though? Just having Tara Reid on your payroll
I mean,
doesn't make you an A-list level. It's not American Pie in 99, Bob. So I'm just saying A-list, like Margot Martindale is an A-list star. I mean, I don't know if A-list, but like she is a well-known,
Yeah.
like still getting work star. Carrie Russell was in it, right? And she, I mean, like her and Margot were in like the Americans together. And maybe just I love the Americans.
Yeah.
And other people don't really know it. So that's probably more accurate. Maybe I'm really just like, I love a bunch of
I mean, Ray
B-list
Liotta's in
actors.
this also, which is
That's
dope.
what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying.
mean-
There's like some high level of actresses in this masterpiece.
Ice Cube's in it as well.
I can't believe he even got
I
to
mean,
get on
there's
the
a.
movie
I mean,
set.
there's a.
I can't. Have you heard all the Ice Cube issues that he's had with?
No, I haven't. What happened with him now?
Oh, he's just not getting the vaccine, and so he's like basically they're like, oh, well,
Oh, I didn't know that.
you know, he can't have this movie. He basically gave up $9 million. Which I mean, if you're Ice Cube, I mean, I'm not saying like, wow, what a terrible financial decision. He's probably fine, but I mean, how much did you really want to do the movie? Yeah, so
and
synopsis
Isaiah
of
Whitlock
the-
Jr.'s in a Cocaine Bear, which means we're gonna get a dope she.
Oh yeah, I did see.
I'm
my
excited
boy,
for that.
I did see my boy downtown Clay Davis in there. So basically, the story is cocaine falls out of a plane. Bear finds the cocaine. He's a bear on cocaine. So you just use your imagination of what you think a bear would do on cocaine. That's what the bear is gonna do. I'm jazzed about it. It looks really good, man. I feel like that's a little strong.
Ray Liotta looks like he's gonna be real funny in this.
I feel like it looks really good as
but
a
I
really
think this is,
strong
I mean,
terminology. I don't know if I mean that. It
oh no,
looks like it's
I
gonna be a
think. I
great
mean, this is.
movie.
I think this is going.
It's going to be a great
I mean, this is
movie.
going to sweep the Oscars without a doubt.
I don't know if it's going to be really good, but it's going to be a great movie. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Give me a second. I'm trying to think. This reminds me of the kind of movie that what's his name? That Tracy Morgan's character in 30 Rock would try to be in to get his, what is it?
To get
the Epcat or whatever, the Epcot.
Yeah, the EGOT.
Emmy,
yeah.
Emmy, the EGOT.
Grammy,
Yeah.
That's the EGOT, right? It was the
Oscar
Emmy,
and Tony.
Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Yeah. Remember, but then he got into like the serious role too soon, and people took everything he did seriously, so he couldn't like get like any other traction because they kept being like, he's so deep.
Well, I love that show. I honestly, that's a show I want to rewatch again. But all right, so questions from the internet. This is a question that I actually texted Brandon about earlier, and I talked with some people about actually last night in a friend of the stream, Richie Uno's stream. We're talking about Henry Cavill, and we were talking about the differences of America and Britain, and someone was like, "Oh, well, we have Henry Cavill." I was like, "Whoa, not so fast, my friend." I was like, I think as, he is Superman. He is undoubtedly Superman. And I think as Americans, we get to claim him as one of ours. Now, I'm not saying he's American, but I think that we have a certain leg to stand on in claiming Henry Cavill as one of ours. Not just that, but he also played a dope role in Mission Impossible. I mean, I think
The Witcher
at a certain
is
point,
clearly American.
Yeah. Yeah. He obviously spends more of his time in Los Angeles. I think that
Honestly,
there is a case to be made that Henry Cavill can be
hit you with a
claimed.
couple of things. I hit you with, obviously, this was an international battle between you and those across the pond, right? It was, a war of words, if you will. Thank goodness it wasn't an actual war, because we know how that'd go for them. Not well. So I argued that, first of all, no, you're wrong, Bobby. He's British. I will say that my couple arguments that I had against him being considered American because he was Superman, and Superman is an authentically American role. Number one, Superman, not even from America. He's from a different planet.
Yes, and I accept that.
He is in all sense and all levels of it. I don't mean this offensive, but he's an illegal alien. Okay, so
yes,
just take that as you will. He's lied about his,
but Superman is the character. Clark Kent, yeah. Now Clark Kent, the guy that perpetrated born and raised American, Kansas, yeah.
Okay,
which again, very American thing to do.
Sure, super fraudulent. I mean, in the show The Americans, Philip and Elizabeth Jennings also, do super American things, but they're spies, and because they're not from here, because it's all a lie, Bobby. So that's all I'm saying. Number two, though, to your point, obviously I've given 1 point to the other side. I had zero clue that the man even was British. Had zero clue. Thought he could have been a dude. Thought he could have been a dude from Kansas the whole time. When you texted me today, I will tell you, in the history of all the things, I spent a lot of time just scrolling on Reddit. I see a lot of Henry Cavill, on Reddit. They're talking about him building computers and him being the Witcher and him being Superman.
Yeah.
Could have never once in the history of anything been like, yeah, that dude's not from like Idaho or something. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's a point to your favor. Now I will say, what British show has he really rocked out and like shown out on? Because he hadn't. If you can't give us some like, oh, he's done this, then I'm gonna just have to give you the second point and give you the win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through his filmography, and like as a Henry Cavill fan, I want to support him and be like, oh, well, here's his IMDb page, but also I recognize, like, okay. I mean, it's Mission Impossible, Black Adam.
Well, then, all right. So then here's my third.
He did play Sherlock Holmes. He did play Sherlock Holmes, which is also a quintessential British piece to play. Right. But he played a very masculine, very.
I'm going to hit you with this final level, and you tell me, kind of what you think. Christian Pulisic is arguably the world's, highest level American soccer player, right? We can agree
Yeah.
on that, He
Yeah.
plays soccer in England because that's where the shit be getting done. You know what I'm saying? That's where you want to play soccer. So wouldn't that be the same thing of Cavill coming over to the English Premier League of making movies, which is America? I don't want to take it from the British. They don't really have a lot anymore. They used to run the world, and now they're just some little island where they can't even elect a dude that is able to brush his hair, bro. And I know that I'm throwing stones in a glass house with that statement, but I'm just for the sake of the argument, let's give them, they can have Henry Cavill because, well, we don't want to claim Flash. They can have Flash too. Now the movie Flash, you can have that Flash.
Right.
We'll take Grant Gustin. Or
how about this? If they're getting Cavill, we have to have a trade. There has to be a fair trade.
The Chappelle Show racial draft type of deal.
They get Henry Cavill. They get Henry Cavill. We get Idris Elba. We get Heimdall.
All right. I'm down with that, except for, let me hit you with this. I'm going to make this better because I feel like we already got Idris Elba. The Wire had him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've honorarily got him. How about we just we scrap my idea earlier about, becoming a great soccer nation, and we just trade Christian Pulisic away and we get Cavill.
Boom. I think everyone's happy.
Wipe your hands clean, dude. We suck a little bit worse at soccer, which is no different than where we were when we didn't suck at soccer. Which is always,
I do think, though, that every 4 years, all celebrities, politicians, and athletes should go into a country draft.
A country draft. Yeah.
And it's a snake draft. Maybe, I don't know, maybe by GDP, maybe by every year. Every 4 years is different. Maybe 1 year they rank education. Maybe they rank other things. And then they, so that way, maybe 1 year, Qatar will get Cavill. I don't know.
Oh God, no. They'll never be high enough on the draft list to get Henry, dude. Don't ever say it, bro. No. I'm with you though. I'm with you with some sort of, you remember the Chappelle Show racial draft, right?
Yes.
When they come out and they're like, all right, we'll take Colin Powell. Like, Colin Powell's not even an eighth white. They're like,
who do you think if it was?
They said, we'll let you keep Colin Powell, but you got to take Condoleezza Rice. Like said soul.
Who do you think, between celebrities, politicians, athletes, who do you think would be the world's number one overall draft?
Athletes.
Or whichever country. Well, which athlete?
Oh, which athlete? One of the
I'm saying which
players.
person?
Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Easy money. Now, if America got number one draft pick, we're gonna totally waste that draft pick on somebody. We're drafting like dude, some guy. It's gonna be like an honorary pick, and some dude's drafting like Ted Cruz or something, bro. Like, we're gonna totally gonna waste the 101 on. Now, I'll tell you, if we had a politician, you know who I want to draft? That Irish president that always has
with the dogs.
Dog.
Yeah. Yes.
I know absolutely zero about this man's politics.
All I know is that he is super. All I know is he is super popular by everyone. Everyone loves him. His people love him. I mean,
man has never passed a bill in his life. He doesn't have to. He just goes out on a step with a dope. Just
drinks
dog.
Guinness and hangs out with dogs.
Also, that New Zealand Prime Minister, she's a cutie. I will draft her up.
And she's smart.
Squad. And obviously, I mean, she's a prime minister. I mean, of New Zealand. She's a prime minister somewhere that's not England or America, and which makes her probably pretty smart as a general rule. Or Australia. I think they throw them in there with us too. So,
Yeah, I think Australia's its own thing where it's just like, oh, there.
Well, I mean,
Australia came. It's like, yeah, it's like when
Keith-
Australia shows up to the party. Yeah, they're like,
Keith,
oh,
no
Australia's here. This is gonna
offense.
be fun for about 5 minutes. Then it's gonna go
Keith,
south real quick.
Keith, calm down, brother. No offense, all right? We've talked plenty of bad about America, all right?
Yeah. Let's move into what are you binging? Speaking up on international affairs, I actually started it last night. I've been trying to find it. I spent weeks looking for the show on BritBox, Acorn, Hulu, Netflix, and I finally found it because I forgot to look at the one place I should have.
You use Google and find out where
I did, but I looked up on Google. I just never typed it in on YouTube. All their seasons are free on YouTube.
Okay. It's funny.
So, but
no, go ahead.
So yeah, Taskmaster is really funny. It's Greg Davies and a bunch of comedians. Pretty much Greg Davies gives these comedians a task that seems almost impossible, and they have to like figure out how to do it on camera. And you know, one example is he puts a couple of pies in front of him. He's like, you have to tell me without breaking the pies or looking into the pies what's in these pies. And one dude's like, I'm just gonna look at it and guess. And he's like, I don't know. First off, the English have some weird fucking pies. He's like, that's a steak and liver pie. That's a steak and beet pie. That's a steak and pea pie. I'm like, what are they doing with their pies? First off,
and that's all breakfast pie. That was just breakfast pies.
Yeah,
Bobby. Those were just,
yeah. Come to find out, these pies. Yeah, these pies are filled. One pie's like with marbles and toothpaste, and the other guy, the one comedian's like, it says here I'm not allowed to break it open. So the guy who's like keeping track of the timer, he's like, hey, I need you to punch this pie for me. And the guy and he's like, all right, well, I didn't break the pie, and I can see what's in it. And then they all get points and stuff, and it's a pretty fucking hilarious show. I think it's like 11 seasons.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I guess I'm going also international affairs. I think this has been brought up before. You have been a West Winger. I have not. I've never watched The West Wing.
Love The West Wing.
No reason that I hadn't. Love everything that Aaron Sorkin ever does. So a huge fan of all the actors and everything in there. We just recently saw Toby in Black Panther 2, right? So we just saw Toby. So I'm in it. So The West Wing, man, it's pretty good. I'm about to finish season 2. So it's a lot of seasons.
Nice.
Like 7 seasons.
Yeah.
So seems like I'm
and
probably
it's really
getting
good. It gets really
into
good.
It. Yeah. So I'm getting cranked up into it. And I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5, dude. Been having a fun time playing that game. Got a bunch of dope cars and whatnot. It's a lot like a very open world. A lot like almost like a Grand Theft Auto, except for you're just racing, or Need for Speed. I haven't played racing games in a while. It's not really usually my forte.
I haven't played one in a long time either.
Honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with it. So it's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, give it a check.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I'm actually playing a game. Yeah, I'm streaming a Game Pass game tonight. Like, obviously, if you're watching this, but they teased the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga.
Oh yeah,
which is one of their best ones that they've made in a while, and they were supposed to be released like next month. They said fuck it. They released it last night randomly just because they wanted to.
Oh, awesome!
Maybe I'll check that out. I'm playing that.
Yeah, I tried to play a little bit.
And it's the entire Skywalker saga, and so I'm excited to play it.
That's awesome. I tried to play a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. That game is so hard. It's good. It's hard, dude. And I'm not like I've never really played like
I lowered the difficulty down because I want I lowered the difficulty down because it's one of those games I wanted to experience the story, and it's fun. Once you I lowered it down and experienced the story. The story was a lot of fun to just play through.
Yeah, I'm like, even then, it was still a little hard. I'm stuck somewhere, and I'm stuck. I'm like, ugh, like I want to play it, but like I can't figure it out, and like it's hard to like locate the YouTube specific on what I need. Yeah. So maybe I'll even try to go lower. But honestly, like I may just be like, bro, you just never really started playing these types of games.
There was a couple puzzles that I had to straight up look up. There was like some puzzles we had to like move some balls to another thing and on down a level, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like one of those that like, like, hey, I know that I would love it if I was like 16 or 15 when I got into this style of game, but I just never did, and now I'm old, and I'm like, okay, well, the right trigger definitely drives the car forward, so like I'm just gonna do that. It's been doing that for 20 years, so I'll go play that, or I'll play a first-person shooter where, all right trigger, okay, this is the bullet, this is where I shoot people with, so
yeah.
But yeah, man. So
all right, let's move into what's snapping their sticks.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right. I had a great time while I was out of town. One thing, however, that I want to talk about, and that is, honestly, kids. Fuck them kids. Since COVID, they've introduced a new thing on some cruises where kids cruise free.
Bro, you did
The
not even
fuck?
you did not even try to bring me as your small child on your cruise for free. I'm not a fan of cruises, you know that, but I'll go for free, obviously.
First off, kids should be double the price. They cause more mess. They're dirty on a enclosed area after we just got out of a pandemic. And kids suck. They should be charging double if you bring a kid exponentially. You bring 3 kids, it's 6 times the price. No, and not to mention, there's kids ruin everyone's time. They're loud, they're obnoxious. We don't want them there. We're adults trying to have a good time. And if you bring a kid, whatever, fuck you. Drop them off at daycare. Don't take them everywhere with you. Don't have them at the adults pool. Don't put them in the hot tub. Don't leave them in the hot tub unattended.
Either that or you go to the daycare because they're clearly calling the shots and they get to do the adult stuff.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I like, kids are the future of America, and I hope they're not stupid and, they're not awful. But also, I really don't, if they're offered to you, just keep them with you and
Yeah.
you want to have kids.
Yeah.
I at some point want to have kids. I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
like I already know that my kids are going to be the worst, and I would never subject.
Yeah,
a whole
I'm not
group
gonna.
of people
And I
to
told
one
Megan,
boat.
I was like, listen, there are kids here that there's no reason for them. There are kids in strollers. That kid's not gonna remember this.
When it's
Find
also
a babysitter. Find someone.
when it's also super different if like you take your family to the beach. You're not
Yeah.
locking them on a ship with a bunch of people. Like, yeah, kids may annoy me at the beach, but like also that's not my deal to tell you to not come
Yeah.
to the beach, But
Yeah.
we're all like getting on a boat together since the dawn of the Titanic has been like a social contract. Like, like, hey, let's try to annoy each other as little as possible. And bringing the
Yeah.
kids, that's always a bad thing. So
Yeah, and
With
honestly,
you-
with as
with
many
them,
kids that
yeah.
were there, the Titanic probably would have been more fun.
it would have been way more fun. Then they would, the dude would have been wasted. They would have sunk a lot sooner. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have never left. Okay, so mine, you might find this weird, Bob, but I have on here as a complaint, Samsung Galaxy tablet. It is not for the reasons you think. I've been thinking about getting a tablet, but I'm also like, oh, I really won't use it that much. And like, why do I need to get it? Well, just so happened, Stephanie's mom and dad had an extra one they got from signing up for a hotspot or something, and we're not using it. So I was like, hey, this is perfect. I'll totally take this, to not spend any money on it. So, hey, all of that, the tablet portion, working great. Love it. Really enjoying it. I'll tell you what snaps my stick, though, is I have been so adamant and so in the world of Apple. I feel like a 92-year-old person trying to operate any type of Android, any type of Android thing. I'm like, God damn, I'm like, Stephanie, damn it, did it download? Like, what the hell is that? How do I open up this? And, just like a whole list of things that, I know that if I just chill out and like give it 3 seconds, I'll probably be able to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I find myself far too often saying, "Oh, I don't know how these kids do it." I'm done with it.
It's broken.
Oh, this stupid exhibit is broken. That's why I buy Apple stuff. Throwing my hands in the air in disgust. Perfect for down. I got I've been able to make the show docs and stuff a lot easier.
Nice.
I can watch
Yeah.
regular TV shows and then just like throw on a game that I want to watch, because there's times that I don't want to sit down and just watch the entire game. I'd like to spend time with Stephanie or something, but also I would also like to watch a bit of the game. So,
Yeah.
So it's been nice. So it's very thankful to my, my mother and father-in-law but also not super thankful. Why couldn't you have gotten a free iPad? And then I would have known how to work the shit out of that, dude. I'd have been able to, been hacking the hell out of that bad boy. Well, into the settings. I don't really know how to actually hack things. So.
But all right, that's awesome. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us. We're excited to be back. We'll be back next week. But hey, thanks for coming. For Brandon, I'm Bobby. This is the Pucks Out Podcast. We'll see you all again next time.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.